Dear learners and audiences, I welcome you all to today's program. This program is designed for the students of our MBA and Commonwealth Executive MBA programs. This program will also help the students of our BBA program. Today, we will make an introductory discussion on marketing. Today, we will cover the following agenda: the causes of internationalization, the definition of international marketing, the task of international marketing, the need for environmental adaptation. Dear audiences, before I start my discussion, may I request you all to bring a piece of paper and a pencil just to take some important notes that might help you to understand later. Now let us start with the first agenda, the causes of internationalization. We know that nowadays it is almost impossible on part of any country to be economically developed without being involved in international marketing. The causes that prompt a country to get involved in international marketing are as follows. Causes of internationalization: the saturation of domestic markets, high return on investment in foreign markets, need to establish early position in world markets, foreign firms are operating in home markets and thus domestic firms also need to operate in foreign markets, growth of world markets and regional trade areas, political and economic changes in Latin America, Asia, Eastern Europe, India and the former USSR. Let us move to the second agenda, the definition of international marketing. Simply, international marketing can be defined as the performance of business activities designed to plan, price, promote and direct the flow of a company's goods and services to consumers or users in more than one nation for a profit. From this definition, it is clear that an international marketer must operate in more than one nation. Actually, the main difference between domestic marketing and international marketing lies here in more than one nation. This more than one nation simply accounts for a lot of complexity and diversity. Basically, the marketing principles, concepts, processes are the same. Even the goal of business is to earn profit and it is universally applicable. Now the question is, if all these things are the same for a domestic marketer and an international marketer, then the question naturally arises why international marketing should be studied as a separate course. Actually, the basic problems lies with the environment within which the marketing programs, marketing plans and marketing strategies are implemented. The uniqueness of international marketing comes from a wide range of unfamiliar problems and a variety of strategies necessary to cope with different markets in different countries. That is why international marketing is much more complicated than domestic marketing. Dear viewers, let us go to the next agenda, the task of international marketing. International marketer must operate on 3 planes simultaneously. Some of these planes are related to company environment, and the factors here are totally under the control of a marketer. Some of the planes are related to domestic uncontrollables, and these uncontrollable factors are normally beyond the control of a marketer. And some of the factors are related to foreign uncontrollables. These factors are very much complicated, difficult to forecast, and absolutely beyond the control of a marketer. In fact, the basic task of an international marketer can be explained with the following picture. If we look at the picture, you see there are 3 circles. The innermost circle consists of some factors that are called domestic uncontrollables or company. There are 4 factors here. Number 1, price, product, channels of distribution, promotion. In this second circle, it is called domestic uncontrollables. There are as many as 3 factors. Number 1, political or legal forces. Number 2, competitive structure. Number 3, economic climate. And the third circle consists 7 forces. These forces are called foreign uncontrollables. These forces are: number 1, political or legal forces; number 2, economic forces; number 3, competitive forces; number 4, level of technology; number 5, structure of distribution; number 6, geography and infrastructure; number 7, cultural forces. Now, what is the task of an international marketer, and how this picture can help to understand what is the task of international marketer? Basically, a marketer has absolute control over the 4 P's, which is given in the innermost circle, and the basic task of international marketer is to mold these 4 P's so that these 4 P's can be adapted to domestic uncontrollables as well as foreign uncontrollables. The complexity of international marketing task depends on in how many countries a marketer is operating. Normally, the more the countries an international marketer operates, the more the activities become complicated. Now, let us see the second circle comprises 3 forces: political or legal forces, competitive structure, and economic climate. These forces are not controllable. That is why a marketer needs to alter his marketing program to adapt to these forces. Say, for example, in case of political or legal forces, a marketer cannot control it, and it directly affects the marketing activities of an international marketer. Say, for example, if Bangladesh government takes a political decision to raise the tax on imported goods, then how it will affect the marketing activities. Normally, if tax goes up, the cost price of a domestic marketer for a car will go up. As a result, he has to raise the price. When the price goes up, it is likely that the sale of the car will go down, and finally he would be affected. Now we see another decision. I mean, when US government imposed sanctions on the trade with Iran, Iraq, then what happened? The US people, I mean international marketers, were not able to do business in Iran or Iraq. As a result, they also lost an amount of profit, and they were directly, I mean adversely affected by the political decisions of the US government. Now you see the domestic economic factors, they also directly affect the marketing activities, because how much a marketer is able to invest in domestic as well as foreign markets depends on what is the economic condition of a country. Similarly, we have to say the competitive structure, it also affects the marketing activities of an international marketer, because it directly affects the international plan of a marketer. Now let us see the third circle, which consists of 7 forces, and I told before that it is not possible, and it is not possible to control. These forces are absolutely beyond the control of a marketer, and it is very difficult to predict these forces. That is why a marketer has to mold his marketing program to adapt to these forces. But before designing a marketing program, a marketer needs to analyze how these 7 forces influence the marketing programs. And one of the problems in assessing the influence of these forces on marketing program is that a marketer might face a number of problems, because the economic conditions and the differences in technology, the cultural differences, all these things make it very much complicated to assess the influence of these forces on marketing programs. And sometimes a marketer might get a substantial dose of cultural, political and economic shocks while assessing the influence of these factors on marketing programs. Sometimes dynamic upheavals create a problem of dramatic change in cultural, political and economic climates, as happened in China when Chinese government decided to move from a communist economic system to a free market economic system. Differences in technology and expertise also create problem on part of an international marketer. One of the problems in international marketing is alien status. Normally, when a domestic marketer enters foreign market, he is not treated as a native. In fact, the foreign people, I mean foreign customers, impose alien status on the marketer. As a result, what happens? He may not get the right benefits, he may not get the right advantage as he is supposed to get from the foreign markets. This alien status, imposed alien status, makes the task of international marketing much more complicated. For example, in 1970s, Indian government imposed some restrictions on Pepsi-Cola company, Coca-Cola company, IBM and also some other multinational companies. In case of Pepsi and Coca-Cola company, the Indian government forced these companies to divulge the business secret of preparing these products or to leave the Indian market, and finally the company left Indian markets. This is because of alien status. Sometimes radical political shifts in foreign markets might result in confiscation, expropriation or domestication, and because of these three risks, a marketer lose its capital, marketer might lose the profit, even a marketer is forced to withdraw its business activities from the foreign markets. Likewise, in foreign markets, a marketer might face problem due to the differences in the level of economic development, geography, infrastructure, level of distribution, level of technology, etc. All these differences make the activities of a marketer much more complicated. Thus, we see that the activities of an international marketer are much more complicated, difficult than the activities of a domestic marketer. But the task of an international marketer is to assess how these domestic as well as foreign uncontrollable factors affect the marketing programs of a marketer. Since a marketer has got absolute control on the marketing programs, the marketer needs to adapt his marketing programs to adapt to these uncontrollable forces. If a marketer can ensure the right adaptation, I am sure that a marketer would be successful in the foreign markets. Now, we will discuss the next agenda, that is called the need for environmental adaptation. I told you that the success in international marketing largely depends on how an international marketer can adjust his marketing programs to these uncontrollable forces. Now, see what is an adaptation. Adaptation can be defined as adaptation is a conscious effort to anticipate the influences of foreign and domestic uncontrollables on marketing mix, and then to adjust marketing mix to achieve marketing objectives. For adaptation, a marketer needs to adjust his marketing programs to foreign markets. To do this, a marketer needs to analyze and interpret the influence of these uncontrollables on the marketing mix where a marketer wants to operate. Actually, it is very difficult to assess the influence of these uncontrollable factors on marketing programs. This task is really very much challenging. In dealing with unfamiliar markets, a marketer must be aware of the frame of reference he uses in making decision or evaluating the foreign markets. In domestic market, a marketer's frame of reference is very much simple, because a marketer responds to these forces automatically. He does need to think about it, but when a marketer enters foreign market, the frame of reference creates a big problem. So, for the sake of adaptation, a marketer needs to forget his own frame of reference. He needs to cultivate a frame of reference that goes beyond his country culture, beyond a region. Instead, a marketer needs to see the foreign marketing problems in its true lights, and marketer needs to cultivate cultural empathy, by which a marketer can see the foreign problem, a marketer can analyze the foreign problems in their lights. And if a marketer can do this, he can ensure the success. Thus, it is said that adaptation is very much essential, and for the sake of adaptation, a marketer should forget his own frame of reference, and he needs to cultivate cultural empathy that helps in designing the right marketing programs that can be adapted to foreign markets. Dear learners and viewers, this is all about of today's program. We have covered some of the basic aspects of international marketing. Through this discussion, you get to know why a country get involved in international marketing, what's the definition of international marketing, and what's the basic difference between domestic marketing and international marketing, and why international marketing task is much more complicated than domestic marketing, and what is adaptation and how the adaptation process helps a marketer to achieve its success. Dear viewers, if you have any question or queries or investigations, please contact us. We'd be grateful to help you if you need. Thank you very much. Have a good day.